Over the past few months, I have been on a mission to buy every single Marvin's Magic tin ever made. And today, my mission is complete. In this video, we are going to open all of this. Now, rather understandably, you might have some questions. The main one being, why? Why have I bought all of these magic kits? Well, the journey started over 10 years ago, when I got 50 amazing magic tricks for my birthday. This exact 50 amazing magic tricks, in fact, which is now incredibly dented and old and missing lots of stuff, and several years later, as a professional magician, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool to own a brand new one of these? And so that is exactly what I did. I have to look at this. No way. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. I never thought that... Oh, I'm getting a bit emotional, that is really weird. But you see, I didn't want to stop there, because when I was a kid, I used to go on the Marvin's Magic website all the time and look at the gift tins. I don't know why, but it was specifically the gift tins that really hooked me. Like, I just love the idea of a little compact tin having all of this amazing stuff inside it. And I used to dream about owning all of those tins one day. And of course, I never did. So it was only when I grew up that I thought, you know what? Let's fulfill that childhood ambition, and so I did. So after months of scouring the internet, one by one the packages arrived, and at last the collection was complete. Oh my god, I'm such a 9-year-old, but this is amazing. Now, just before we dive into actually opening the packages, a little disclaimer. At this point, I've been making this video for months on end, and I have gone fully down the rabbit hole of insanity. I know the Marvin's Magic product lineup way better than any normal human being should. And I know that I'm gonna get comments saying, but Cavan, you missed the Ms. Magic tin, you missed the I Magic tin, you missed... There's a load of different variations, right? Different colors and different styles, but I am only interested in ones of this branding, alright? Just to make it super clear, those are the ones that were around when I was a kid, and those were the ones that I was hooked on. So yeah, I know there are more modern variations, but for the time being, I'm not interested in the nicest way possible. Because obviously, collecting the other type would be madness, and what I'm doing is completely normal. Also, I'm going to mention at this point that during my search for these magic kits, there was a twist in the tale. But I'm going to save that for the end of the video. Now it's time to open the Marvin's Magic collection, and I'm going to do this one tin every day until I have opened them all. So without further ado, let's begin. Day 1, tin 1. Thought I would start with 50 greatest card tricks, which was the easiest one to find. That's going to annoy people, isn't it? All of the comments are going to be about that. I'm going to work so hard on this video, and everyone is going to comment about the blooming blind, isn't I? So yeah, like I was saying, 50 greatest card tricks was the easiest one to find. All I had to do was go to the Marvin's Magic website. I wish they were all that easy, but unfortunately they weren't. Some were a marathon and took a long time, but more on that later. Let's crack into this one then, and a very easy open. It kind of feels wrong to open them all fresh out of the plastic, but that is kind of the whole point of buying them. Very nice tin. Sort of a dusty pink colour. I'm pretty sure I could predict what is going to be in here. I think there's going to be some, like, mind power. I'm guessing maybe a Svengali deck, maybe a marked deck. That's my prediction going into it. Alright, so it looks like my prediction was pretty much correct. We've got a bunch of packets. We've got 5 different packet tricks. We've got the instruction book, and then we've got incredible wizard magic cards. Now, I think this is just going to be a marked deck. I think. Only one way to find out, and that's by opening it. Well, hang on. They're not marked. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. It's a stripper deck. Oh, of course. Well, look, it goes to show how powerful a stripper deck is if a professional magician Can't even find that out without looking in the instructions. Wow. Okay. Stripper deck. Yeah, fair enough. It's a worthy inclusion. I knew that it was going to be one of three things: Svengali, marked, or stripper. I'm guessing maybe a Svengali deck, maybe a marked deck. This is called Spot On Prediction. Let's take a look. All right, I've read the instructions once. We're going to try and perform the trick. This is what it looks like. So we have a bunch of cards. We ask someone to take one. In this case, they take this one, and it is blue. Okay, so their card is blue. Here is where things get really, really interesting, because the rest of the cards are actually red, except for their blue one. That is a really cool trick, super easy to do as well. Like, not really any sleights required. There's a move, but not a sleight. The incredible jumping jack. All right, this one is a little bit complicated. It took me a while to work it out, so fingers crossed I get it correct. So for this trick, you have an envelope as a sort of prediction, which we will leave right there, and you have these 4 cards, which are the 4 jacks. And you give them to the spectator, and they mix the jacks up in any way they want, and then they turn over a jack of their choosing. So in this case, they turn over the jack of hearts. So you spread out, you can see they've turned over the jack of hearts. This is a completely free choice, and then you take your envelope. This is where it might help to have a little bit more practice, but I think, yeah, you spread and it matches. You have in the envelope the jack of hearts. That's a pretty cool trick, that. In fact, that's a damn good trick. It's almost like a invisible deck plot, but with 4 cards and without the need for any really difficult gimmicks. Difficult though. I mean, if you were an 8-year-old or however old you have to be to have this kit, you know, the recommendation age, it's not gonna be easy, that. But I do like that about Marvin's Magic kits. They don't underestimate their target audience. Like, kids can do that. Yes, it will take them, you know, 10, 20 minutes of focus and practice to learn it, but they're capable of that. Kids are really, really capable of that. So that's 50 greatest card tricks. Moving on to 50 outrageous scams and hustles. I really like the look of the box art on this one, but I have a feeling that they actually wouldn't make this one nowadays. Like, having a box that is literally scams for children. I don't know, it's a little bit of an odd concept, but we will have to wait and see what is inside here, because I don't think it's gonna be, you know,
set up a call centre to scam the elderly.
Brand new in the plastic. According to my list, this cost £8.74. So really not much, even though it is technically one of the rarer ones in the collection. It really was not that expensive. So yeah, let's dive in, see what we get. Right off the bat, this looks really, really cool. We've got poker chips right here, which is really nice. And these are proper sort of like clay poker chips. We've also got a couple of casino dice. Yeah, so you can't roll a 5 on this dice. There's 2 2s. Got some sort of bag of like stickers. I can't quite tell what these are, really. We'll find that out in a second, I guess. This is a little bit dodgy. We've got some VIP wristbands that are just like generic special guest access all areas wristbands. That is bizarre. This is a little pulley, a little reel, a little retractable reel, and quite a powerful one as well. Goodness me. If this is going to be used for a vanish, which I imagine it probably is, this is quite a loud one. Even more stuff right at the bottom. We've got some like packet card tricks and some more cards. We've got, again, a press pass, which is just so weird that they've included things like this. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna have a read of the instructions and try and work out what some of this stuff is. This is what the 3-card Monte looks like. It's really, really simple. You've got 3 cards, 2 black 10s, and a queen right there in the middle. And this is what happens. You turn it around, you spread the cards, and you ask them to pick out the queen. Of course, they go for the one in the middle, and when they do, it says, "You owe me a drink." Basically, there's a drinking version and a non-drinking version, and a really, really nice gimmick that allows you to do this. And it's not just one of the printed gimmicks, it's one of the 3D gimmicks, if that makes sense. That is what I would call an outrageous scam, so I'm very happy with that. We also get some ESP cards, and I wonder if... Yeah, these are marked cards. So you get some marked ESP cards. Obviously, a variety of tricks there. Is there a trick with the press pass, I wonder? Or is it literally just a press pass? It is in the instructions, but just as a press pass, which I think is wild. And it does say, disclaimer, we are of course kidding. You should never attempt entry into an event using fraudulent means. We're just saying, if you did decide to do it, this is how you might go about it. Encouraging children to use fake ID from an early age, that's great. I couldn't see it at first, and maybe it doesn't come up quite as well on camera. You can possibly just see. You put this over glass and it looks like the glass is broken. You get a couple of different sizes and variations. Yeah, alright, fair enough. It's more of a prank. Okay, so this is not an ID holder, nor is it a vanish. Well, kind of. I've read the instructions. What you're meant to do with this is tie like a banknote to it. I guess kind of like the box art, to be honest. You tie some money to the end of this thing, and then you feed it under a door. So you extend it right out under a door, and as someone is passing by, you sort of have an accomplice or someone give a signal, like a cough, and then you zip it back and the money disappears as they're trying to grab it. A really weird application for one of these. I must say, the instructions are full of like matchstick bets where, you know, you have to make shapes with the matchsticks or whatever. And there's the one with the shot glasses where you have one the wrong way round and they have to move two at a time to get them to face the same way. There's all those sort of things as well, which is a very, very standard sort of scams and hustles. Having watched a lot of Scam School from years ago, I recognize most of these, to be honest. So, the poker chips work in conjunction with the loaded dice. Alright, so the scam is this. You have 6 poker chips and a dice with, of course, 6 sides, and you get them to roll the dice, and whichever they land on, you will eliminate. So, they roll it, and it's landed on number 3, so 1, 2, 3, they eliminate the 50. And you do this over and over again. Number 4, so you eliminate number 4. 10, you eliminate the 10. One by one, they will all be eliminated, but as I said earlier, there is no number 5 on the loaded dice, so they eliminate all of the values, and they're left with loser. That is all this one says, it just says loser, which is really, really clever, and you get a proper dice, so that you can do, you know, a little switch, and they can check that it could have landed on number 5. So this is definitely the best scam in the box, I would say. Is it worth the price? Well, for me, I spent, what, £9 on this? I would say there's a trick in that, it's worth £9. Plus, you know, you get a load of fun stuff thrown in. The 3-card Monte's pretty good. So now we've learned how to scam our friends, it's time to learn how to cheat at gambling. I don't know what it is about this one, but I am really looking forward to 50 ways to cheat at gambling. And this one actually says on the tin some of the things that we get inside. So we know there's gonna be loaded dice and marked cards. I'm kind of interested to see what else there is, because we've already seen loaded dice and marked cards in some of the other sets. Yeah, let's crack it open and take a look. It says that you can perform impossible feats to amaze your friend and family. You've only got one friend. It just assumes if you're buying this tin, you've probably only got one friend at most. Which of course is not true because I have at least 2 friends. All right, let's crack the tin open. We've got the loaded dice, we've got the marked cards, which come in a lovely sort of green box this time. So these 2 are fair dice, but then these are loaded and they're different to the ones in the Scams and Hustles tin, which is a surprise to me. This one only rolls a 5, and this one only rolls a 6 or a 2, so they're actually different types of dice. That was a surprise. I was fully expecting them to be exactly the same. So you get an exact same variation of the 3-card Monte, where it says you owe me a drink. Slightly different variation with the 5 and so on, but it's the same. Really sort of sturdy cardboard cards with hearts, clubs, diamonds, and spades on them, which is very interesting. Let's see what that trick is. Ooh! Okay, so these cards and the poker chips are used together as a coin matrix effect, and supposedly they are magnetic. There's a magnet inside this card. That is really, really cool. So there are some tricks with the loaded dice. There are quite a few tricks with the marked deck. I think most of the tricks are with the marked deck. But then once again, there are these coin and matchstick puzzles that they sort of fill out the instructions with. There's always a lot of those, which is kind of disappointing because that's not really what you're paying for in the tin. Ultimately, the set boils down to a poker chip coin matrix. You get 4 of those dice, which is a nice inclusion, a single card packet trick, 3-card Monte, then the marked deck is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. It really, really is. This is the bulk of the set. Overall, is it worth the price of the tin? I don't know. I don't think it's as good as the other ones, but still a fairly nice inclusion of props. Moving on to the next tin. This next one is also kind of close to my heart, and it's 50 Greatest Light Illusions, which, as well as 50 Amazing Magic Tricks, was the only other tin I owned as a child. I owned both of these, in fact I still have them, except my childhood copy has got absolutely nothing left except the instruction book, so I definitely wanted to buy a new one for this updated collection. If you're a complete nerd like me, you will notice that the packaging is slightly different, especially on the back, where the newer one has actually printed it onto the tin, unlike my old one which just used a sticker, and I took the plastic off camera. But taking a look inside the box, we have a very familiar sight to me. We have the instruction book, which is now not hardback, and we have 4 sponge balls, plus some very exciting props underneath, which we will get to. These sponge balls are very, very good quality, I must say. I mean, I'm not a sponge ball expert. This is pretty much the only set of sponge balls I've bought since I owned those original ones, except like Wish.com sponge balls, but the first proper set of sponge balls. I am by no means a sponge ball aficionado, but we will try this, which is pretty much the only sponge ball routine I know. We put 1 in each hand with a little fist bump. It vanishes from here, and it reappears in this hand. Ta-da! Sponge balls, I think, are such an interesting prop to include in a kid's magic set because they look simple and they look like they'd be an easy trick for a kid to learn, but actually they take quite a lot of sleight of hand skill in order for the tricks to look good. So I think it's really, really nice to include them because it gives kids the chance to really practice something that is actually quite difficult. This is one of my favorite things to do with sponge balls, where you take one like this and you put it in your pocket and, you take one like this and you put it in your, you take one like this and you put it away, and, you take one like this and you put it away. What is going on? Or this one, which is ever so slightly gross. Lovely. Good job I'm not reselling these tins. This one's definitely gonna need a wash later. Now, obviously, this is called Greatest Light Illusions, so I'm gonna turn off the lights and show you the illusions, I guess. All right, let's go. Honestly, I have just been playing around with these props for the last like half an hour, and this is so fun. The set includes 2 paper bags for you to do that last trick that I showed. It includes, of course, the D-lights, if you know what D-lights are. Yep, I am mega impressed. This is my favorite of the collection so far, of the ones that we've seen, but we still have a few to go, including 50 Greatest Magic Tricks, which is meant to be the creme de la creme of the collection. So yeah, lots to get through, but so far, I love this one. Moving on to the next, not tin, but boxes. I'll be honest with you, I almost didn't get these ones, but in the end, I caved and I had to. It was actually surprisingly difficult to get my hands on these because it turns out not many people bought them, and those that did very rarely kept them in one piece or indeed sealed in their plastic like this one is. So yeah, it's time to crack them open and check out the 30 awesome card tricks and 30 cheeky chat-up tricks, which I think we have to start with because this is such a weird product. Like, clearly not aimed at children, definitely aimed at adults, but includes everything you need to give you magic pulling power is on the box. So, need I say more? Why does this exist? This is another one that falls into the category of they probably wouldn't make this one nowadays, but let's check it out anyway. Inside, we have a thumb tip Very interesting. Oh, there's actually something on the thumb tip, which is different. So it's your standard sort of squishy, vernet, soft thumb tip, but it has a mold in it of a pair of lips, which I imagine will sort of print something onto something. I don't know, I'm just guessing. We have another 3-card Monte, of course. This one, the kicker is call me, or just a blank card, which I imagine you, I don't know, write your phone number on or something like that. But it's the same 3-card Monte that we've seen in quite a few of these sets. We've got some cards with like the male and female symbols on them, and we get 3 of each. So my immediate guess is that this is the same that we saw in the card tricks tin, if you cast your mind back to the start of this video, which for me was quite a number of days ago now. I imagine this is the same as that, where they pick one and you show them and it turns out the others are the same, effectively. Strange, mysterious blue paper package. And inside we have a pink package. I feel like I've got to show you what I'm seeing right now. I kind of recognize it. I feel like I had something like this in another magic kit, but I honestly cannot for the life of me remember what it was. Oh my gosh, the instructions for this trick are so weird. So it's the appearing gift right here. I'll just read you what it says in the instructions. So the presentation is that you're on a date and you've got the date, a present, which is really well wrapped in all these papers. That's the justification for the papers. So you open it up and you show that it is empty, and then you rewrap it all, and I kid you not, it says, you rewrap the papers and ask your date for a kiss good luck. When you unwrap the papers again, you discover a gift befitting a first date, chocolate. So something appears inside the papers. But in order for it to work, they have to give you a kiss good luck. It says that in the instructions. But I do remember how this trick works. It's actually a really, really good trick. I need to find like a coin or something small. All right, so it is all set up. Let's do the performance. So we have the present. We unwrap it, just like so. There is nothing inside. Okay, so we rewrap. Okay, bit of a lengthy process, but we got there. We rewrapped it, and now with a snap, not gonna like flip it or anything, I'm just gonna unwrap the same thing once again, except this time right in the center. What? A coin appears. Here you go, lucky date. I got you 10 pence. Wow, I mean, that is true love right there. This is a really cool trick. Yeah, the props are really simple. You could probably make this yourself. Real question is, would it impress someone that you were on a date with? And I think the answer is probably no, unfortunately. Next thing in the box is something I've seen before. It's the number trick, the mystic numerology little packet trick. They've thrown that in there for good measure. Why not? You also get some napkins, which are printed with green and red, and in the instructions it quite simply teaches you a very quick origami that you can make a rose out of the papers. The last thing in the box is this, the fortune teller fish, which I'm pretty sure I've got in like a Christmas cracker once. I mean, I'll just show you what it does because it's really simple. You place it onto your hand like so, and it curls up in my case, which, curls up entirely means that I am passionate. Apparently I am passionate. As I've been looking through the instruction book, it's really interesting to me that the best tricks in here don't use any of the props from the box. Like, there's a really good card trick in here. In fact, there's a few good card tricks in here, but they don't include a deck of cards. But overall, this is kind of a lesson in presenting magic, because almost all the tricks in here could be presented entirely differently. They've just had a sort of romantic spin put on them and packaged into a fairly average set. So yeah, I'm not too impressed. It's definitely at the bottom of the pile in terms of favorites, but that's cheeky chat-up tricks. Next we have 30 awesome card tricks. Oh, is it just the same? Is it just the same stuff? Oh, it's just the same stuff. No, I wanted something different. Guys, I wanted some oomph, and we have color-changing kings to aces. We have mysterious mind power. We also have incredible wizard cards, and nothing else except a business card. That is disappointing. Now it is time for a proper tin once again. In fact, I will raise your 1 tin to 2 tins, baby. Oh yeah, it's double tin time. Did someone say double tin time? No, but it is anyway. We're gonna open 2, because these, I think, are gonna be quite similar. 50 pranks to freak your friends, and 50 hilarious jokes and pranks. I don't know what the difference between these is gonna be, probably not a whole lot, which is why we're gonna open them together and discover the secrets.
Together, we can discover the secrets.
I'm feeling a bit hyper today, I'm feeling a bit jokey, a little bit pranky. Okay, here we go. We have another little sort of Marvin's Magic business card, but this is the sight I am met with. What the heck is this? Is this just packaging, or is this like meant to be a fake rock or something? I have a feeling this is meant to be a rock. Ah, it is a sponge rock, as I suspected. You can pretend you've got something in your eye. You can just be like, oh, I've got a little bit of like grit in my eye, like a tiny little bit of, oh, there we go, that's better. Next thing in the box is freaky body parts. Let's take a look at what is inside freaky body parts. It's like a sort of rubber finger, like a realistic finger? That is so strange. You, my friends, have just been pranked. This is a little box. You put your finger through, you hold it like this. I don't know if that would fool anyone. It says you should put like cotton wool, a blood-stained cotton wool around it, which would make it more convincing. So, you know, you come up to someone, you just, you know, as everyone does, you've just got a little box of severed fingers, and you open it up and you show the severed finger, and then it comes to life. So stupid, and yet just so good at the same time. All right, next thing in the tip. Oh gosh. Oh damn it. Oh no, that's so annoying. Look. Let's wipe this up. Oh, hang on a second. Whoa! You've just been double pranked, my friends. It is a fake spill. I'm having way too much fun with this. This one's called the Amazing Spider Trap, and essentially it is this little strange device which you turn around. It's like elasticated, and you turn this, place it into the envelope, and it lies pretty flat like that. And then when you open the envelope, oh wow, it's actually quite loud. It does that, basically. I pranked myself. That was quite a lot. You get a fake penalty notice, a fake parking ticket notice thing. You get one more of these big broken window stickers, and you get a little ice cube, a little fake ice cube with a bug in it. So it looks like someone's got a bug in their drink. That would definitely get people, except I am the sort of person who eats the ice in a drink. Like if I have a drink with ice in it, I am putting that ice in my mouth and grinding it up like an absolute psycho. So I feel like I would definitely bite down on this, or even worse, choke on it. Moving on to the next one, which is 50 hilarious jokes and pranks. Okay, here we go. This is the tin, and inside, oh, it does look different. You get one of these things, which I've never owned, but that's really, really convincing, actually. The exact same thing as the spider trap, except this time it is frozen spider eggs. You also get a spoon with a hole in it. What is that? What's the prank there? According to the instructions, you can use this when you're making a cup of tea. You can get the sugar and you can make it look like you're putting endless amounts of sugar into a cup of tea, but actually, of course, none is going in because there's a big hole in the spoon, which is, you know, hilarious. This is kind of a cool one. It looks like you're flossing your brain. Like that string is going in one ear and out the other ear. That's actually really, really convincing, I think. That looks great. Oh my gosh, wow. I don't want to reveal this one either. I'm not going to show you what's actually going on here. This is fantastic. Oh, all I will say is it was definitely intended for smaller heads. Ow. It's everyone's favorite cracked screen stickers, of course. You also get another penalty notice. This one is for a bicycle, and it comes in a much more convincing like bag, which I feel like they are in bags. They're not usually just loose bits of card. So yeah, that definitely looks a bit more legit, and it's for a bike. And the last thing I must say is absolutely disgusting. It is it is this. Oh, it feels rank as well. Oh my gosh. It is I cannot tell you how disgusting that feels. This is like that Rick Lax thing, you know, the energy drink life hacks that Rick Lax did. I swear one of them was to like make your eggs really stretchy. Maybe he just got this kit and that was what it was based on. And clearly our little fly friend has escaped the ice cube because he is in this set. Forgot to mention, you also get some water balloons, which are of course a prankster essential. I must say, I was really skeptical before opening these. I was not sure whether I would like them because they're not truly magic related, but I enjoyed these way more than I thought I would. That string through head one especially is really, really cool in my opinion. Yeah, overall, pleasantly surprised. But now, back to the magic. It is time for the next tin. It's time to crack open a cold one, and for this I have donned my best football shirt to really get into the spirit, because this is 50 amazing pub tricks, and it comes in an actual can. I think that is so cool, but it is chocker full of stuff. Alright, let's just pull things out. So of course it is a cocktail shaker, but it's also a paddle trick, which is just perfect. And come to think of it, I'm surprised we haven't had a paddle trick in this video yet, but it had to happen at some point. This is the perfect prop for a set like this, and I'll show you the trick really quickly. So we've got a blank cocktail shaker, absolutely nothing on it at all on both sides, and with just a shake, we actually get a little rabbit and a top hat. I wish the rabbit was a little bit more visible. It doesn't quite come across on camera. At first glance, it still looks like it's blank. So I wish there was like a big white mark or something that was just, you know, standing out, but that is a decent trick nonetheless. Next up, my gosh, it's so full I can't even get stuff out. We have this. What is this? It says top secret. It's completely sealed. By the feel of it, I think there's like a thumb tip in here and something else. All right, yeah, it is a thumb tip, as I suspected, and it's been a while since I've seen one of these, but this is a really, really cool trick. It's a drink stopper, so you put this on the end of a bottle, and it suspends water in the bottle, which is really nice. We'll try it this way. I quite like doing it like this. We'll take the silk and just push it into a bit of the scrunched up material of the United shirt, and watch that green silk as it just completely vanishes like that. Love that. Thumb tips, man, they are damn powerful, and I will stand by that forever. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? We've got another ice cube, another ice cube with an insect in. This one is a slightly different one. The trick includes this illusion with a large glass of wine and a small glass of wine right here. You can see clearly the green one is much smaller, except when you swap them over, now somehow the green one is much bigger and the red one is smaller. Did you, for 1 second, think that we were done with 3-card Monte? Classic, of course. It had to include another one of those. I can certainly imagine myself performing 1 or 2 of these occasionally with friends, again, in that sort of atmosphere, at a bar, at a pub, whatever. I think some of these tricks would fly because they just work for the situation. There is a baffling packet trick that I never really got my head around, and it very much relies on, you know, self-working sort of dealing, not my style. But considering the price and the size of this tin, I am really, really impressed. Now it is time for the final set in the collection. This is 50 greatest magic tricks. And so we reach the end of our journey. This is by far the most expensive tin of the collection. It was one that was very difficult to find online, sealed in the plastic, because this hasn't been on sale for quite some time, and so finding one was trickier than I thought it would be. I find it so fitting that this was the last in the collection to arrive, and the last one that I'm opening in this video. This is very, very exciting. 50 Greatest Magic Tricks is kind of an iconic set in the world of kids' magic kits. So without further ado, let's crack this open and conclude this very, very fun journey. Oh my goodness, here it is. Here it is. I'm sure a lot of people watching will have had this one when they were a kid instead of 50 Amazing Magic Tricks. This was kind of the flagship Marvin's Magic set for a while. I, however, don't even know what is inside here. I mean, I can make a guess. There's a couple of images on the back. I think there's going to be dynamic coins in here, which is very, very exciting. That's an excellent trick, but yeah, let's find out and open it for the first time. Ooh, Dynamic coins are indeed there. That is so cool to have. Oh my goodness. Real solid like brass props that just feel really high end. And I have to perform this trick because it is just too good not to perform. Okay, so we gather ourselves a little stack of 10p coins right here. And we take one of these fantastic brass caps that are included and we place it very carefully over the coins, just like so. And with a snap, they vanish. Now we take the ring, completely empty ring, and we give it a spin. And wherever it stops, we're gonna make some money. So right there, we have the coins. There are honestly so many incredible tricks you can do. This is one of my favorites. We take an empty cap, we place that there. We carefully put these coins on top of this. Now that is solid brass. And now watch. These coins melt from here all the way through solid brass inside, just like that. When I say that this is one of my favorite tricks of all time, I am not exaggerating in the slightest. I think this is such a good trick. Now, yes, the props don't really make a lot of sense. Okay, you've got a weirdly sized brass ring that isn't a finger ring, it's way too big for that. And when do you ever see brass caps like this? It's strange. I'll admit, the props are a little weird and they're a little magician-y. But the magic is so good, and to include in a set like this, I really don't think that including classics that teach you basic essential tricks and are incredible and are mind-blowing and aren't meant to be performed by professionals, I think that is totally okay, totally legit. And so, yeah, I absolutely love this trick. Just the visual, you're fooling yourself as you do it, of putting that cap over the stack of coins and them vanishing right before your eyes. You can't help but love this. So yeah, dynamic coins instantly means that this is already a great set. Moving on to the next thing in the box, we have a deck of cards which say on them what they are. These are Svengali cards. I know professionals who swear by dynamic coins. I am not one of those. However, I do use Svengali decks in my professional repertoire. I have a Svengali deck in my magic case at all times. It is something that I use and something that I think is legitimately very powerful. So immediately this is one that I love. I love the Svengali deck so much, and I know it inside out, so I'm just gonna sort of improvise a little routine and have a bit of fun with the deck, basically. This was one of my first ever tricks, definitely my first ever trick deck of cards, and it was something I performed all the time. When I started doing restaurant gigs, when I was like, I don't know, 14, 13, something like that, when I was just like a kid, I would perform with a Marvin's Magic Svengali deck at those like proper gigs where I'd be walking up to strangers and performing tricks. I would be using a Marvin's Magic prop exactly like this. So this definitely brings back a lot of memories. Okay, we're gonna dive into the trick. I have this card right here. It says, you will select this card. And I'm gonna leave that in my top pocket. Now, of course, we have a deck of cards and I will show you. They are, of course, all completely different. As I go through, the imaginary spectator will say stop whenever they want on that card right there, and we will take the one I can't see. They look at that, they remember that card. Got it, okay, fantastic, and I lose it somewhere into the middle. Now, it doesn't matter where I lose it in the middle, because with a snap, it comes to the top, which is pretty cool, 3 of clubs on top. Okay, we're gonna lose it into the middle once again, just cut it into the center, and this time, rather than having just one top of the deck, I will cut 4 little piles just like this, so we have 4 options, and now they can choose which pile they want the 3 of clubs to be on. So this one, this one, this one, or this one. Let's just say they randomly go for this one. It is a free choice, and somehow the 3 of clubs is on top. Now, I will let you in on a little secret. I am lying to you. I'm using more than one 3 of clubs. You see, I actually put one on each of those piles. Even though they could have cut the piles themselves, there's actually a 3 of clubs on all of those, which is, you know, kind of cheating, but actually the cheating and the lying gets even worse because, wait for this, I actually have a full deck of 3 of clubs. They are all the 3 of clubs, every single card. And not just that, but this one in my pocket that says, you will select this card. Yeah, I knew they would pick the 3 of clubs. There we go. Oh my goodness, I love this. I love this. I think the deck itself may have flashed at the end. The quality of the cards themselves, you know, they're plastic coated. They've got a sort of strange like bow to them, but they are good enough. They do the job. I can handle them with ease, and plus you get a load of extras which are really, really fun. So yeah, again, another absolutely stellar trick. Immediately the next thing I'm noticing is this, which is a pen on a bit of elastic. I think I had one of these in another magic set that I owned as a kid. Next thing is, well, a business card, of course, as always, and oh, a thumb tip. Yeah, it's worth pointing out these are child-sized thumb tips, so it is actually very, very difficult for me to perform a trick with them, just because they are simply not my size. And it was inevitable we were going to get some repeated tricks at some point in this tin. But actually, if I were going to choose any tricks to be repeated, I think it would be a thumb tip, just because of how versatile they are. And yeah, another fantastic trick. Again, there's like a full repertoire here. You could learn these tricks, put them together, go to a gig and genuinely perform them all. That is so impressive. Now, next thing in the tin, and actually the last thing, is this little levitation thing, which I do recognize from 50 amazing magic tricks, and you know, it's not the greatest thing in the world. Weirdly, the set actually doesn't include a matchstick or anything for you to levitate with this card, and I've already said in a previous video how I'm not actually the biggest fan of that as a trick. Just doesn't really hold up. Even on camera or in person, it doesn't really work. I think everyone you show it to knows how it's done, so you know, a cool principle, a cool idea in theory, but definitely not one that I would perform. Yeah, that is the weakest trick in the set, but I think the set is absolutely worth the money. Dynamic coins, Svengali deck, vanishing pen, and you get a thumb tip and silk. That is a combo that I think is really, really worth the money to pack into something so small. And that concludes our journey into Marvin's magic. Some might say a pointless journey, but often it's the pointless ones that are the most fun. And I have had so much fun opening these tins with you. I know this video isn't for everyone. Some people are gonna be like, Cavan, why have you just posted a 30-minute video about Marvin's magic tins? And I don't really have an answer to that question. But there we go. That is the Marvin's magic collection complete. Almost. You see, at the start of this video, I mentioned that there was a twist in the tale, and there is a huge twist. Because although I have all of these sets, there is actually one missing. The collection is not complete because there exists an incredibly rare Marvin's magic tin called 50 Greatest Magic Illusions. I thought I was going mad at one point, but it exists. It is real. This thing is out there. There are pictures on the internet to prove it. It's a green tin. It came in a 3-pack with these that I believe might have been sold exclusively at Hamley's. It is incredibly rare, and I have scoured the entire internet to find it. I have scoured every dark corner of the web I can think of, and hardly anything comes up. No one seems to own it, and no one is selling it. So, I am calling out to everyone watching this video, if you have 50 Greatest Magic Illusions, get in contact with me. The email address is right here. Please get in touch. If you know someone at Marvin's Magic, if you work at Marvin's Magic, if you are Marvin Burglass himself and you happen to be watching this video, please tell me where I can find this one very obscure magic kit. It is incredible that I haven't found it. It really is. So yeah, if we can band together and solve this mystery of the missing magic set, that would be incredible. But that is a story for another time. Thank you so much for watching this video. This has been one of the most insane things I've ever done on the channel, and completely ridiculous, of course, I know that. But if you enjoyed this one, make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. It really does mean a lot. I have spent a long time on this video. If ever you're gonna put a thumbs up on a video, please make it this one. And if you're new to the channel and you've watched this far, then I think you're definitely gonna love my channel. Please do subscribe down below. We do anything and everything to do with magic, and sometimes we do ridiculous things like this. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care, guys.